They tried to slap me with a $600 pool fee, then sued me for $500,000 when I fought back. But the best part? Their own lawsuit triggered a financial lockdown that froze every dollar they were stealing. I didn't just win, I shut the whole game down. The letter came on a dull Thursday morning, folded neat, like it wasn't about to explode my life. HOA fee update, it said. Some nonsense about special assessment. I had moved to Cedar Pines for peace. Just me, my coffee, and a few quiet laps in the community pool. But peace doesn't last long when your name ends up on the radar of a woman like Judith Crenshaw. Judith was the treasurer of the Cedar Pines HOA. Retired middle school principal, string of pearls, always tight around her neck like she was choking on her own rules. When I opened the letter and saw that she'd raised my pool fee from $100 to $600 with a post-it note citing some Regulation 6.8, my first thought wasn't about money. It was about war. I showed up at the next HOA meeting. Cheap metal chairs, sad coffee, half the room on their phones. Judith perched at the front like royalty beside Carl Jenkins, our spineless HOA president, who smiled too much and said too little. I waded through announcements about shrub height and bird feeders, then calmly asked why I was the only one hit with a $500 increase. Judith smiled, but her eyes sharpened. You moved into Lot 7, right? That property's been overdue for pool equipment upgrades. Regulation 6.8 allows for special assessments. The way she said my lot number sent a chill down my spine. This wasn't random. It was targeted. Later that night, I met my neighbor, Melissa King. Single mom, sharp wit, and the unofficial historian of Cedar Pines gossip. You know Judith's nephew tried to buy your house, right? She said, sipping tea like she was dropping weather updates. Lost the bid by $5,000. He called it the last piece of family legacy. Suddenly, it all clicked. I hadn't just bought a house. I'd trespassed on some Crenshaw fairy tale. And now I was paying for it, literally. I didn't get mad. I got strategic. I printed the HOA bylaws, Regulation 6.8 highlighted like a beacon. It said, special assessments require detailed financial documentation. I sent a formal request to Judith for the breakdown. Her response? A 3-sentence email ending with, further inquiries may incur administrative costs. A threat. Wrapped in bureaucracy. That's when I went digging. The HOA's budget was public, poorly scanned PDFs buried on their website. But I found something odd. A $12,000 payment to Blue Cascade Systems for pool upgrades. Never heard of them. Melissa hadn't either. So I called Travis, the guy who actually cleaned our pool. He laughed. Pump's fine, man. Hasn't needed replacing in 5 years. But I did see Judith writing checks to her cousin for consulting last month. That was it. Fraud. Hiding in plain sight. I gathered what I could. Shell companies. Fake invoices. Payments authorized by Judith alone. But the real problem wasn't just her. It was the silence. No one wanted to challenge her. Carl was her puppet. The rest of the board stayed quiet to keep the peace. So I started small. Flyers in mailboxes. Just data. No names. The question, where's your money really going? The backlash came fast. Judith called an emergency meeting. Her pearls were practically rattling with rage. This community, she declared, is under attack by malicious rumors. Then, eyes locked on me. We propose a $1,000 fine against resident Ethan Graves for behavior detrimental to HOA harmony. It passed. Barely. People didn't understand what was happening. Just that their dues might go up, and I was asking uncomfortable questions. I almost quit. Almost. But Melissa stopped me outside the meeting. People are talking, she whispered. They're scared. but they're curious. Keep going. So I did. Travis and I dug deeper. Turns out Blue Cascade systems didn't exist anywhere but on paper. Same with Urban Scope Consulting, another company Judith funneled $18,000 to after I filed my first complaint. All tied to her cousin's P.O. box 3 counties away. We hit 16 signatures, just enough to demand a formal audit under our bylaws. I handed it to Carl personally. His smile cracked for once. I didn't sign up for this, he muttered. I just wanted to play golf and keep property values high. I almost felt bad for him. The board agreed to an audit. Then Judith named her own cousin as the independent auditor. A man named Alan Crenshaw. I kid you not. She barely tried to hide it. I objected publicly, citing the conflict of interest. Carl shrugged. He's certified. Melissa, beside me, hissed through her teeth. This is a circus. So we took it to the next level. At the audit meeting, I hijacked the projector. Bylaw 8.4 gave any homeowner the right to present relevant financial evidence. I showed everything. The fake companies, the matching last names, the inflated fees. The room went quiet. Then gasps. Judith stood, tried to scream, "Fabrication!" But Travis jumped in next with his proof. Photos of checks, receipts from parts he himself bought for $300, the same work billed at $5,000. Neighbors started shouting. Mrs. Delgado, who swims daily for her arthritis, demanded to know where her fees had gone. A dad asked why the playground was still broken when consulting fees had tripled. Carl, now visibly sweating, raised his hand for quiet. I moved to suspend Treasurer Crenshaw's authority pending a third-party audit, he said quickly. Someone seconded. Hands flew up. It passed. Judith's face twisted. You'll regret this, she muttered as she stormed out. And maybe she thought we would, because 2 days later, I got a letter. Certified mail. Judith Crenshaw was suing me for defamation and tortious interference. $500,000 in damages. Melissa got served too, so did Carl. Judith was going down, and she wanted to take everyone with her. But here's the twist. Her lawsuit triggered a clause in our HOA bylaws. Section 12.7. Any pending litigation locks the HOA budget. No new fees, no spending, no payouts. I showed up at Judith's house, folder in hand. She opened the door, expression stone cold. You're trespassing, she snapped. Actually, I said, I'm just letting you know. Your own lawsuit triggered a 2-year budget freeze. That includes your cousin's payments. Oh, and state law kicks in too. Your finances are now under state oversight. She stared, silent. For the first time, really rattled. I ended it simple. You tried to punish me. Instead, you froze yourself out. 2 weeks later, we got the audit. Real one this time. Judith was removed permanently. Every dollar she stole was traced and flagged. She's under state investigation now. And last Saturday, we held a community pool party. Open to all, no fees, no fines. Travis grilled burgers. Melissa organized a water balloon fight. Carl even apologized. Publicly. I floated in the pool that nearly cost me everything and realized maybe I didn't just fight back. Maybe I helped save this place. So, who really ran the HOA in the end?